All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, I'm Brother Brian again here on 106.7 FM KIEZ with the state of the community. Hey, I had to reach out down the road next door to a good old friend of mine, a buddy who has come from poverty to riches overnight. Man, she has really just been able to show us how the game is done. I'm going to welcome Elcia Holmes. She is a real estate guru and she is all over the place. You've possibly seen her on Facebook, YouTube, making things happen. But more so, she's been able to show others how they can also invest in themselves and invest in their careers and actually create prosperity. Thanks for joining me, Elcia. How are you today?
Ryan, I am awesome, awesome, awesome. Definitely, I appreciate you for having me on the show. Glad to be here. Glad to share some information, share some knowledge, share some resources, because that's what we need more, especially in the Black community for sure. And I'm not gonna, I don't call myself no guru. I know you did, but like that's a good way to start. Like a lot thing too, when a lot of people are interested in learning how to invest in real estate, and that's who they go to, is these gurus, right? That's all over national TV and radio commercials and all this type of stuff. But really those people are states, several states away. They come into your city, your county, and sell you these $50,000, $100,000 programs, and then they leave you with just this bunch of stuff, um, but not that real support and not that real knowledge that you need. And so with me, um, you know, I like to um, give people the nuts and bolts of what they need, not just a bunch of stuff and fluff to make them feel like them $100,000 was really worth something, but it wasn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule because LC and I, we've taken a class or two together and we went through a process and we used to actually study together. So she is the real deal. And you can see her on, like I said, Facebook, YouTube, showing you from the beginning to the end. And so we're going to want to break that down, LC, and just let the people know exactly what you offer, how's it done, and let them know, as you said, these big so-called gurus coming to your town, they leave you with a lot of fluff and hype. But now, what are the next steps? And that's where we fall prey to that. We don't know what to do next until we get another $20,000 or $30,000 package. So, Elcia, tell us about the real estate industry itself. Why did you choose that industry? Because I know you come from a professional career.
Right, right, right. I do. So yeah, so I myself, um I kind of follow the American dream that most people want to follow. I was raised like most people, right? You go to school, you get a good education, you get a good job, right? And you want a good job with benefits.
That's right. That's right.
Right, that's what everybody want, right? And so I did all of that. I went to college, got a degree, um, got a career job, all that good stuff. But like there, it's kind of a lot of times we get caught up in other people's dreams, the American dream, but we never stop to really think about what is our true dream, right? And so um, I I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. Like I got really intrigued with it when I was probably like a freshman in high school, maybe late middle school. Um, and I used to watch HGTV a lot, right? There were these shows that I like, right? They were flipping houses. But like my favorite one at that time was one called Cash Flow Property, where the guy was buying property and renting them out. He was showing other people how you can buy property, um, and have even you buy one that's a duplex or quadruplex or whatever. You live in one side, you rent out all the other sides. And then also the flip shows, like that's very intriguing. It's sexy looking, right? Like I can take this old house and I can flip it, make it pretty, and then sell it to somebody, make good money on it, also provide a home to somebody. So I got intrigued by it then. So I knew I wanted to do it. But my goal was to go the traditional route, right? Get that job, um, make money, save money, because I thought that all these people that was making all this money in real estate, that they were basically had them saved up, millions and millions of dollars to buy all these houses they were buying, right?
Hmm.
So, or either they were just born rich and they were just doing it, right? So my goal was to work my job until, till maybe I was like 50 or 60, right? That's when I'm thinking maybe I done saved up enough millions of dollars by that time. And then I could start buying houses. um, and that was my plan, right? To use my job to basically sponsor my wealth, right? And so, um, and then I kind of had like a turning point where I had heard about these gurus coming to town, right? I was up like I think it was one late night commercial on TV about a real estate workshop in Atlanta. And then so I ended up going, right? I went to the workshop, um and just got, you know, a lot of information that I didn't know, nothing, stuff I had never heard of, right? Um, and so it opened my eyes a lot, and it showed me ways that I could get started without having all these millions of dollars,
Right,
right? And
right.
so I'm like, what? You mean to tell me I don't have to go work for somebody else till I'm 60, 65 years old, 70 years old, and then try to have my own little money? So that allowed me to, like, that really was like eye opening for me. And that was a turning point for me of how I got started into real estate.
Okay, okay. Wow. So in as a freshman in high school, you saw something on television, and I didn't let the family know you're over there in the Atlanta area, so one of the best states around. Real estate is really how can I say it? It's some high cost real estate over there. And so if you are able to make it happen in that area, people here can definitely make it happen because the market values are a little bit different. But is it fair to say that the concepts are still the same no matter where you go?
Oh, absolutely. The concepts are the same. If you know those basic principles, you can apply it to any market.
Okay, okay, okay. So walk us through, because I was under the impression also years ago where, okay, maybe these homes, or where do these people get this knowledge from in order how to invest in real estate? Does it more so? I became hesitant or skeptical. Does it actually work? Until I end up getting into it by picking up a book the old fashioned way, reading it and duplicating it. So that proved to me that success is doable, and it is also duplicatable. So you find someone that's successful, you duplicate what they're doing, you will become successful. So walk us through some of the principles or the how-tos when it comes to investing. I guess there's different fields of real estate investing. I guess the buy and flip.
Mhm.
Can you walk us through some of the phases of the buy and flip? Where do you identify what the properties are? What do we look for? And the next steps in order to the final step of selling.
Mhm. Right, right. Yeah. So, that right, like you said, there's many things you can do in real estate investing. And basically, I want to say first, Brian, that like that's the thing. Like, a lot of people get caught up, right, on what's popular, what's hot. But you really need to take a step back and focus on, first of all, know what you want, know what you want to accomplish, right? Because then know what resources you have available, because that helps you dictate which strategy makes the most sense for you, right? Now, related to um locating properties, I mean, it's just as simple. I mean, there's tons of ways you can locate properties, but not to overcomplicate things and keep it very simple to where anybody can basically start doing this as soon as today. Like basically, we pass by opportunities all the time. It's just that if your eye and your mind isn't trained to identify and realize those opportunities, you're gonna keep passing by them, right? So I'm pretty sure all of us at some point in time or some point in our day, we pass by vacant properties, we pass by boarded up property, right? Any of us probably know of several neighborhoods, even in our local area, where you can go, to the a specific side of town, and there's a whole street or a whole neighborhood of abandoned houses, right? So
Right.
all of those are opportunities. So locating property is just as simple as that. I mean, just keeping your eyes open and paying attention. Um, Now, um, of course, um, when if you're new and you don't know the specifics of things, as far as to know what you have to do to that property, right? You want to get you a contractor, right? To know what type of work that property would need, right? So you can make sure that it makes sense um, to even worry about purchasing it, right? And like when you go to these properties, you definitely want to pay attention to the really big ticket items that's gonna really cost money. Like especially like number one, does it have any foundation issues, right? I mean, does it need a new roof? Does it need new windows? Um, does it need new electrical, new plumbing, septic tank? You know, and those are your really big ticket items. HVAC, those are those really big ticket items that you definitely want to make sure that you um, nail down what those are going to cost you to make sure that everything makes financial sense.
Okay. So right now we're at the stages of identifying an opportunity. Once we identify that opportunity, now we go in and do some type of evaluation on the property as far as the rehab aspect of it and the cost factor. And as we
Mhm.
do the cost factor, we get the cost. What point in time do we make a determination of, okay, I have to invest this X amount of dollars? How do we identify what we can sell it for to make a profit?
So right, so great question. So um, and let me back up one thing. So I want to make sure
Sure.
everything's clear for people. So when I was talking about identifying those properties, right? So first of all, you've identified those vacant properties, right? Now the next thing you have to do after that is you have to locate that owner, right? Before you just have a contractor come in there, right? You need to locate that owner to make sure that's a property that they're willing to sell to you, right? Um, and if they're willing to sell it to you, then y'all negotiate a price that makes sense. And basically, for that price, what you're going to look at is what's called comps, right? Comparable properties that have sold in that area, and see what properties are going for. So that's how you know what properties are worth, or at least even what people are willing to pay. Because a lot of times the comps aren't even what properties are worth, but people were willing to pay that price for what they really wanted. You know what I'm
Yes, yes, because right now I'm hearing
saying?
so much in the real estate industry itself, as we're talking about comps. I'm hearing in places like Georgia, New York, New Jersey, whatever the list price currently sits at, people are bidding and they're bidding 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 more right now because there's an inventory shortage right now in the industry. Is that is that
Absolutely.
is that fair to say?
Yes, yes. I mean, it is bananas out here. Seriously, like the, I mean, these properties are selling. I mean, just like that for way over asking price. I mean, it's crazy money out here. Like I don't know. And then the other thing to the other side of that coin too is the cost of construction has skyrocketed. Like I mean, I just got
Plywood.
a plywood, right? Lumber, right? Electrical, like wire, like everything has, I don't know, the prices are crazy like right now. Like I just got a property that we are getting ready to buy now. Like it's like a 700 square foot house. And like we just doing like it needs like a little small rehab. Something that would typically in a normal market cost maybe 15, 20,000 dollars. Like the quotes are coming in at 50, 60,000 dollars
Woo, big
for a little
difference.
small. So it is crazy. And like people, the thing is like homeowners and investors, like they're paying the prices, like they're way overpaying for properties of what they're not worth. And the property I just got done renovating, um, like that one house, um, got before I ever even finished it. Like it was under renovation. But of course, we have signs out in the yard and stuff, right? So people are calling from the beginning, So we had like well over 500, 600 calls
Wow.
from that one house, right? And it was taken like before we were ever even finished with it. And like
Wow.
the thing is, a lot of people were calling. Some of the people were local people that lived in the area, but they have like family or friends like in California and stuff like that. And they were like, we want to buy, like we got cash money. We don't even need to go to the bank. Like we willing to pay this much cash. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it's a great market to make a lot of money right
Wow. Wow. And so I was going to ask you the one of the ending questions I was going to ask you, what methods do that needs to be taken in order to sell it? But you're stating that during renovation, you use some strategic maneuvers, just putting some of your yard signs out there, and you had 500 to 600 calls. So when the final phase of the rehab came in, the property was already sold.
now. It's gone.
Wow, that's a good feeling. That's why you got that big smile. That's a good feeling. You're
Yeah.
able to reap the benefits and know that it's coming in a short. Now that's a real flip. Get in, rehab, and flip just like that. How many years have you been in the business now?
Um, 7.
7 years, 7 years. And so now you've migrated to the phase of now you're actually teaching it also to others. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, I have started. So like basically, like I don't post like on social media like I used to years ago. Like I used to like be posting when I'm out at houses, on like Facebook and Instagram, like all like every day. I
I
was like,
remember. I remember.
but like now in the last couple of years, like I don't even be like
You're busy.
I don't right. Like I don't even have the time to even think about it. Like to, but I really do got to start back posting on. So the thing was, so when I was like, I never even advertised no type of services or anything like that. I was just posting me out looking at properties we purchasing. Like and a lot of people, I guess saw that was something they were interested in. So I started getting a lot of inboxes. And back then, like I even had my phone number like all over social media as well. I was getting calls, texts, inboxes of people asking like, can I show them how to do it? So that's what ended up, getting me into like I'm like, okay, well, I got people interested in learning. I know how to do it. I'm open to share the knowledge. And so that's how I end up, getting into the coaching, mentoring side of the business.
Okay. Okay. So you're into the buy and flip, or maybe it's safe just say the rehab aspect of it. What are some other aspects of real estate that somebody can really consider?
Yeah, so I actually do like a introductory real estate investing class. It's a free class, right? And in that class I go over um like what I would consider five um five really good areas of real estate investing to get into. And those 5 things are bird dogging, right? So anybody can do that. no matter how, it doesn't take money, credit, none of that, right? That's just where you like locating properties for investors, right? And then um, um, quick flipping, like wholesaling, and that's where you are know how to go out and find deeply discounted properties to be able to wholesale um, to investors, and then you make a fee that way. The other way is um, um, renovating to resale, or aka fixing and flipping, right? That's where you are buying these investment properties. You're doing the renovation to them, you're selling them to a homeowner, investor, whatever the case may be. And then the other one is when you're buying for long-term wealth, when you're buying for passive income, cash flow, which is buying to rent out, right? So you're landlording. That's when you buy a property that you're going to renovate and rent out, or that you buy turnkey that's already ready to go. Um, and hold it for a rental property. And then also, there's another strategy that's like private lending, where you can actually invest on projects that investors are doing, where you can put your money to work for you, right? And that's really great for people that are busy professionals, or people that like want to get into real estate, and who want passive income, but they don't want to be involved in learning all these ins and outs of this and that related to real estate investing. And they just want to put their money to work for them and make interest on their money that they would never be able to make in the bank or a CD or retirement account.
Okay. Okay. All right. So how do the people reach out to you to inquire more about the free class, the free real estate class?
Yeah, so you can contact me on Facebook, Elcia Holmes. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Definitely check out my YouTube channel. We post, share videos and free content and training on there as well. So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then if anybody is interested, I created like an introductory real estate investing ebook that people can get by going to uh, www.freedombuildingsecrets.com/intro to REI. And that way they can get like a free introductory real estate investing book, and start learning from there, and um, see the options that are available to them. Some of the pros, and I go over like pros and cons and things that may be that can help you decide what may be a good strategy for you. And then once you are basically in our system, you also start receiving the information on when the next classes are as well. And if I can help with anything else, definitely open to it. I do offer consulting, coaching, mentoring, training classes, whatever people would need to help them on their journey.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate that. That's amazing because I've seen you from not it wasn't your beginning. It was into the maybe the adolescent stages, and I see where you are now. I just said, wow, that is amazing. You're doing so much work. You're doing great. You truly understand the industry, and you're the teacher that is actually boots on the ground. You're
Right,
not
right, right.
teaching from just a book. You're actually hands on in the
Exactly.
field.
Right,
So you have a
exactly.
lot to bring to the table. And so,
Exactly. I'm still out here in the trenches.
yes, yes, yes. So do you invest? I know you invest in Georgia. Do you invest outside of Georgia?
um, I've looked at different markets, um, and I have talked to some people in those markets. And so like right now, like I'm working on forming the right relationships in those virtual markets, to be able to do what I want to do. Really, like in the virtual markets, there are some markets that are a lot better for passive income. And so my focus is really passive income now. I still do active income as well though, but so to lock down the right relationship, because anytime you're going into a market, especially out of state, um, you gotta have people you can trust, people you can depend on uh to watch those properties, to manage the projects, or keep an eye on the contractors, and just keep an eye on your investment. Period.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, LC, I definitely appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule because I think I hadn't talked to you in about 4 or 5 years. Only way I get to reach out to you, I catch a quick video on social media. So I know you out here getting it, getting paid. So we need to reach out to you and find out who you are, find out what we can pull from you and invest in you. So by doing that, we invest in ourselves. Is there anything you want to share with the family before we get out of here?
Hey, family, I just would like to say, just make sure that the life you're living is the life that you want to live, not a life that your parents want you to live, your grandparents, the life that your grandparents lived or your parents lived. Make sure you're living for you and you only get one life. There are no rewinds, there are no second chances, there are no redos, there are no start overs, right? So you got to make the absolute best out of the one life you get the first time around, right? So I just wish you all much success, much freedom, and just if I can help you in any way, feel free to reach out.
Sounds good. And thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. You have a good one.